Maria Nardi, Director of Miami-Dade County Parks, Recreation, and Open Spaces Department. The days when I'm not in crisis are filled with meetings to get things done for the day. So it's planning out from meetings with staff to keep moving forward initiatives that we have at hand. A lot of those initiatives focus on our strategic plans for the year, and we work as a team. So every week is meeting with the leadership of the department to make sure that we stay focused on the priority projects, the priority initiatives, and have those communicated down the rest of the department, to staff and the rest of the department. Yes, we have a plan, an emergency plan and a recovery plan as well. So those two efforts, the pre and post hurricanes, were implemented immediately after the storm. And like many other departments, what they really consist of is making sure that we have the right supplies in place. Our preparations for the hurricane really happened June 1st, where because we are first responders, parks and recreation departments are essential staff that report out when, immediately right after a storm or a hurricane hits. So our role is in helping clear roadways. We have right-of-ways that we're responsible for. We have a lot of assets that are critical for opening up and making the community function again. Most importantly, though, it's the recreation centers, the parks themselves. When people need to get out after a storm, after being cooped up in their homes without AC, they look for a place to go and activities to do, so they go to parks. It's really the places that bring everyone together. It builds community, it strengthens communities, because those are places that people can go and have barbecues, potluck gatherings, and just a place for kids to recreate, and adults. So the first order of business is to clear out the assignments of roadways that we are responsible for. And we work in partnership with Department of Transportation and Public Works and Solid Waste Management. And we have about 20 miles of those assignments that we work in conjunction with Public Works. In addition to that, we're also responsible for an additional right-of-ways that we also send people out to clean them up. So it's getting first the roadways to allow access to those sites, and then focusing on immediate access to parks and the parks themselves. Our first order of business is to focus on parks that have where we serve recreation programs, so we can make sure that they're up and running, there's no damage to them. We deploy all of our recreation teams, lead teams, to go out there and do an initial assessment in terms of access to those parks. And along with that, we also deploy teams to go out there and evaluate facilities. Do facility assessments to make sure that the facilities aren't damaged, that they are functioning, and we can get kids in there as soon as possible. So the Parks Master Plan was developed back in 2006, and it is a response to the community. The master plan is a response to the community wants and needs. We met with over 3,000 people throughout the community to develop this plan. In addition to that, it's really also based on research of what are the best attributes that make a community livable. So our question wasn't how do we develop a parks master plan? Our question was, what is the role of parks in creating a livable, economically vibrant community? And we learned that there are 6 attributes that every great community has. And the first one is it has great parks. that are within walking distance from where you live. So the minute you step outside your door, you're in a great park system. And it starts in your front yard, and it connects you to the sidewalk that's lined by trees, and it connects you to a neighborhood park that's within 10 minutes walking distance from your home, and it connects you to a city park or to a state park or to a national park. So it's parks, and one of the initiatives that's really important for me and my tenure as director is to make sure that we develop parks within walking distance to every person in this community. The second attribute is great public spaces, and taking public spaces and connecting them to also transforming them and making them public spaces for everyone to use. And the third are natural areas, buying additional natural areas throughout the community, but also those that we do have, making sure that where possible that they be made accessible to the community so you can learn about why one of our pillars in the department, conservation, is important for us and for the community. And then connecting all of those together through greenways and blueways, and then making sure that we design streets in partnership with Public Works, that we design streets as complete streets, meaning that they don't just move cars, but they also move people, so that they're designed by lining them with trees, by making them pedestrian friendly, by putting bike lanes where feasible, and having this entire system connected. And the goal is here, and what we believe in is that great communities have great park systems. And those communities that have figured out the formula in terms of how to be economically vibrant, how to be livable, more livable, they all have a great park system as a framework. That's what guides their goals and their vision for livability.